Hi, thanks for joining me today for a short Bible devotional. I want to share a thought with you out of John chapter 4, verse 31. Meanwhile, the disciples were urging Jesus, "Rabbi, eat something." But Jesus replied, "I have a kind of food you know nothing about." Now that's interesting. Does he have a special secret that we didn't know or the disciples didn't know? He said, "I have a food that you know nothing about." And the disciples said to themselves in verse 33, "Did someone bring him food while we were gone?" The disciples asked each other. Then Jesus explained, "My nourishment comes from doing the will of God who sent me and from finishing his work." So Jesus was ministering. He was ministering to a lady, the lady at the well, if you know that story. And then when he saw his disciples, they were concerned for his nourishment and refreshment, and they wanted him to eat something. But Jesus is saying, "I have food to eat you know nothing about." In other words, he was saying that what sustains him, what nourishes him, is doing his Father's will and finishing the work that God called him to do. Of course, he needed food and water. Of course, we all need that. But the point was that's what drives him. That was his energy. And I think it's a great example for us today that in our lives, our families, our work and everything, all that's important. But to do the will of God in that process and fulfill what he wants us to fulfill, that's what's going to really sustain us and energize us and nourish us in our life. And Jesus went on to say in that scripture that there's a great harvest that's ahead, and the harvest is ripe. So he wanted to do his part in the harvest, and he fulfilled his will, the Father's will. And may the Lord help us to fulfill the will of the Lord in the harvest and do all that he's called us to do. May the Lord bless you. Thank you.